Recovering Queen, the Queen fan podcast where we talk about and play the songs we love. With Jay, Matt, and Ian.
Welcome to Recovering Queen Minisode, where with a break from tradition, we're going to talk about a whole album. Get that? An entire album. But not a Queen album. Oh no. A debut solo album. My name's Ian, and with me, as ever, are Matt and Jay.
Hello.
Good evening. Whose debut solo album are we going to do this mini-sode?
We're going to do Freddie Mercury's debut solo album, Mr. Bad Guy. And once we've discussed all the tracks, we're going to rate them all, and then we're going to get the listeners to decide which track we should do. But with a little twist, because we're going to give them three alternatives of the ones that we think are the least high quality. We're going to do a cover version of them and just see if, as we have been proved several times in the past, there is some real quality in there.
Listening to Mr. Bad Guy was a revelation this time round. I actually really liked the whole album.
I also found it a revelation, but for a different reason.
Uh-oh. Jay?
What was the reason?
Oh, well, that was kind of doing a bit of a mystery lead there, so the listeners will be all intrigued by, I wonder what it could possibly think.
Yes, so I love Mr. Bad Guy. I always have done. I remember buying it. I remember taking it home. I remember walking it home through Redditch. I remember it proudly under my arm. I remember Freddie's, in his glasses, staring out. I was sort of proudly owning it. I did have some funny looks, funnily, going down the street, which I never really understood, and I didn't know why. I just love this album. I think it's one of the most underrated albums of all time.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I do remember you getting the album, and I remember coming around your house. So it's got that nice. It's got that nice feel of being young and listening to an album round your mate's house. So I've got that associated with it, which helps. But it's funny, that looks about the album. I think that's one of the reasons why this album didn't sell, is that just the general look of the album, I think, is terrible. The kind of almost like the overall feel of the album. If you think about the era that it's coming out in, I think that would have put a lot of people off buying it. And had it have just been slightly later or slightly earlier, I think, and with a different kind of feel to it, I think it would have done a lot better. And I think I don't know whether I want to even verbalize why, but I definitely think it's like a sort of homophobic kind of reason.
Ooh.
It could have been.
It's hard, isn't it? I think trying to cast your mind back to that time. Was Freddie out at that point? He was confused, wasn't it? Because he was sort of seeing Barbara Valentin, wasn't he, around that recording?
He never really came out, did he?
No, he didn't really come out, but everyone sort of assumed he was gay, didn't they? I mean, it was a big press story at the time. I do remember, but I just remember I had those feelings. You know, I remember having those feelings of when, as a teenager going, yeah, if I buy this, people might think I'm gay.
Yeah.
in all seriousness.
Yeah, well, I think you're right, actually. I think that was what I was slightly alluding to when I was walking down the road holding it. And to me, it didn't matter, but maybe it did matter in those days in some ways. Because, it's really hard.
I think it would have mattered to a lot of people who wanted to buy it. Bear in mind, Queen's fan, the people that are Queen fans are like football fans and people like that who like to sing "We Are the Champions" at football matches and stuff like that. And the album cover and the songs don't really quite fit in with that, do they?
No, it's really interesting because you do not hear. We live in, well, some would say not, but more enlightened times, let's put it that way. And you never hear those kind of arguments anymore about, retrospectively about these albums. But yeah, I think there was something like that going on at that time. And it's definitely, that sort of genre, the sort of hot space moving into the sort of clubs, isn't it? That you would associate maybe with that kind of music. I don't know.
Yeah, very much so. But if you remember the video to "I Was Born to Love You," it's Freddie chasing this young, beautiful girl around his apartment and jumping on the bed with her and all that kind of stuff. He wasn't doing much for the cause. even if he had
No,
kind of come out in secret. I remember, just assuming that he was straight, up until probably the day before he died,
Well, I wonder if they even shot that video as a kind of, oh my gosh, it's not selling very well, and that they were aware of that homophobic element and thought, let's do a video to try and.
I'm sure the record labels thought exactly that. This is the type of video that we really need for this, not a body language style video for "I Was Born to Love You."
Yeah,
I made that mistake once before.
Having listened to the album, I think there's some incredibly strong songs on this album. Like,
speaking of songs,
strong.
let's turn it on then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Giving each track and a little bit of a discussion of each track. 0 points for something that you think's really not very good at all, up to a mighty 5 points for something that is excellent, a rating, and then we'll average them all out, and then we'll come up with the chart at the end. So the album starts off with "Let's Turn It On." What do we think of that?
Oh, it's 5. It's 5. It's 5.
No way. It would be. The drum loop is so sort of
doesn't start well, does it? That drum loop. Oh.
I mean, what a terrible start to the album is, like a sort of a drum loop that sounds like it's a placeholder for a better one.
Oh, and we should stress that if you give it a 5, this is the best song within this album. This doesn't relate to the wider Queen catalogue, so it's just within Mr. Bad Guy.
Oh, within this album. Okay, yeah.
That would somewhat restrict the scoring, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as good as Somebody to Love, is it?
So, but we're not comparing it.
Nothing on this album is as good as.
But within the
Somebody
context
to
of
Love.
this album,
but this is my biggest objection to the album is starts on this song straight away. Because I think some of the synth sounds are really cool. I like some of the kind of sort of bassier synths in it. I think they actually stand up pretty well. But what the hell is Freddie doing, or getting someone to play sort of rubbish sub Brian May guitar parts? That's the bit that irritates me. It's like the whole idea of a solo album is stuff that he can't do in Queen. So he ends up doing Queen in the solo album. I just don't get it.
Very strange, isn't it? Very strange.
We a couple of the tracks were already meant, or they're earmarked for Hot Space, weren't they?
Is that right?
I can understand if Brian May was playing it, but it's not a solo album. Just have it in the box for one of those later down the road, release it like no, like some of the other stuff.
Yeah, so I think that he demoed it with the band, like a couple of these tracks. So I think that they'd put some of these embellishments on that Brian would do, and I think that's kind of what was worse, and why Brian fell out a little bit with him, because he then, as you point out, got somebody to do, well, that's the Brian bit, and Brian's already even sketched some of these bits in. And then to put on the album, "Thanks guys for not interfering," to John, Roger and Brian, I think there was a little bit of a bone of malcontent.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not a phrase.
I think in the concept of this album, Let's Turn It On, apart from the awful drum loop right at the start, it's not too bad. I mean, Freddie's performance as ever is great. The vocals are incredible.
Yeah.
Performance, throughout the whole thing, I think it's a relatively well constructed song that's consistent within itself. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5.
Because it's so fun, because it's got all that scratching and all the cheesy Akai samples. I'm going to give it 4.
Jay, what are you going to give it?
Well, I hear you on the drum sounds. I mean, yeah, pretty bad. But for pure infectious fun, I mean, we're kicking off this album with pure adrenaline. Such a great vocal performance. I absolutely love it. It's got to be a 5.
5 out of 5. Let's Turn It On. Moving quickly on, track 2, Made in Heaven, Made in Heaven. The classic Mercury ballad.
And it is a classic. This is classic. It is a great song.
Yeah.
And the vocal performance, oh my God, I had not realised just how incredible a piece of singing this song is. Like, listening to it last night, I was just
it is
absolutely
a tremendous
blown away.
song, right in there. I mean, it's kind of not. I don't think it's quite up there with I think a very high bar, but Play the Game and Hard Life and that type. It's not doesn't reach those heights quite, but it's a really good.
It kind of borrows some bits from Somebody to Love
Yeah.
as well. It's got some bits in there that sort of echo
Yeah,
Somebody
absolutely.
to Love. God, if only you had a kind of more organic version of this song where the piano sound was nicer.
And I was listening to it earlier, and I think it must be after the first chorus. There is an awful edit or a really clunky key change on about 2 minutes 50. If you listen to that and it goes back into the second verse, it's just, I had to keep rewinding to say, are you joking? It was so horrible. It left it on. So Jay, where are you with Made in Heaven?
Oh, it's a 5. I mean, there's no contest. It's such a beautiful song. And I think what would be interesting in an alternative universe, picking up on what you guys were saying, was I can imagine this as a Queen song. I can imagine, how they would have done it slightly differently. And I don't mean because obviously they then took it in one of the later albums, didn't they? And after the event, added their bits to it.
And made it worse.
And made it worse, yeah. But I can imagine at the time in the early 80s, they could have made that into such a fantastic Queen song. It almost hurts me that they didn't do that because it would have definitely been better for those extra bits that the band would have brought to it. But yeah, as Matt says, it's the vocal performance is searing. It's heartfelt. It's beautiful. The video is quite amusing. Yeah, there's faults all the way through this album. I had problems with production and some of the drum sounds and some of the keyboard sounds all the way through it. I can't mark it down. It's a 5.
It's a 5. Matt, what are you going for?
In context to the album, I think this is one of the 5s that I'm going to have to give. Yeah,
I'm giving it a sturdy 4 for that appalling lead back into the second verse. I think it is. So moving on to the lead single, "I Was Born to Love You," another track that they attempted to reinvent and give new life after the time. But I remember this coming out and being surprised at its sound and saying, this doesn't sound much like the Queen I was expecting. Of course, it's not Queen. It's a Freddie
but that's a
Mercury
good
solo
thing.
album.
I like the fact. I mean, that's the thing that I've reconciled with Mr. Bad Guy is it doesn't sound like Queen, and I hate it when it does.
Yeah,
because it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not at the time for me, though. It was, I struggled. I struggled with this album at the time.
Well, I mean, I remember hearing "I Was Born to Love You." It came blaring out the radio. I know it's not a Queen song, but I actually do remember where I was when I first heard it. And that first open refrain, if that's the right phrase, is so strong. It's so powerful. It's so melodic.
It is, yeah.
It's like, wow, let's go.
Yeah. Really, those real close, powerful harmonies, they are amazing, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Absolutely incredible.
In fact, yeah, I mean, the opening is blistering, isn't it?
Yeah,
But I really like there's about 4 or 5 different ideas that go through this track, which I really like. I love the synth break. I love that bit, and it's like ABBA. It's sort of the sort of dense kind of synth pop. It's like ABBA, isn't it? And he's kind of got that vibe to it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it's another problem with the album, isn't it? It's like Freddie Mercury writing an album not for Queen fans, but the people who weren't Queen fans are hardly going to buy it. So he's making an album for people that have already made their mind that they don't like it. So it's never going to sell, is it?
I think he just made it. I think he just did what he wanted to do. And that was it, wasn't it?
I really think that he thought it was going to be massive. There's lots of rumours that it's like, how come this hasn't done as well as Thriller? And being sat down and explained, well, Thriller does have, umpteen producers, 100 songwriters.
Yeah, 100 songwriters, wasn't it?
An artist at the absolute peak of their game.
Yeah. And an artist, Michael Jackson, realising that other people might write better songs than you have, or certainly, difficult to write 10 absolutely blinding songs.
And I guess that expectation might have been there as well, because there was 2 or 3 tracks that were again penciled for this album with Michael. That would have been a weird album. That would have maybe been a bit of a weird mashup. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we could. I mean, the only one that I've really heard is later on the.
There must be more to life.
Must be more to life. Yeah.
So scores on the doors for "I Was Born to Love You," Matt.
I'm going to give. I think this is a solid 4. I mean, it's a great single. ultimately it's very throwaway, isn't it?
Yeah, a solid 4. Jay, where are you going with this one?
Well, I'm just going to say I'm not going to give all of them a 5, but this one is a 5.
This is a 5. Well, we are at the opening of the album, so I'm giving it
a strong song.
a solid, a solid 4. It's right in there. It's never going to get a 5, but it's definitely not a 3. So it's a good solid 4. Moving on to track 4, "Foolin' Around." What do we think of this monstrosity? Of this song?
Well, I mean, we were talking about Michael Jackson. I mean, if you listen to it, it is Billie Jean. Do, 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 do.
Well, and it also starts with the same da da
Yeah.
da da with the same riff as the previous song.
It's like a fun version. It's like Billie Jean meets Cool Cat, isn't it?
And it to me, it doesn't sound like he had time to finish it. It's very much a jam, and he just keeps on fooling around, and doesn't really go anywhere for me.
I mean, it's got some great bits. I like the Fred Mandel guitar chops in there. I like those, all those bits. And it's kind of got a little nod to Hendrix with Foxy Lady. And, which is nice for Freddie to get his little hero in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jay?
Yeah, I'm not massively keen on this one. Truth be told, I think the melodies I think they're strong all the way through the album. But yeah, I haven't got anything to say about this one. It's not one of the better ones.
Scores on the doors then, please, Jay.
That's going to be a 3.
A 3. Matt?
3.
I'm giving that 0. It's awful. It just
That's
doesn't
harsh.
go anywhere. It sounds like he made it up on the spot to fill time. Stuck it 4th on there as well. Yeah, sorry, no, I'm not talking about it anymore. Next track, "Your Kind of Lover." What do we think about this one?
Incredibly, the opening sounds exactly like it's come off jazz.
Yeah.
It's like this is the most John Deacon piss take bass line ever recorded. It's like he's like listened to John Deacon and then played the most Deacon bass line of all time.
Oh, I didn't pick that up. I'll have to have
listen.
another listen.
The intro is ridiculous. It is just what the hell, and then it sort of slides into that kind of boogie woogie song.
I guess you'd be tempted though, wouldn't you? As if you were coming into that project, you think, well, I know he likes John Deacon bass lines.
That's been dictated by Freddie. He's really dictating this project. This is, that's why it took so long, 2 years.
Yeah.
And you think he's deliberately done that. He's even pissing off his mate Deaky.
Well, as you said, the expectation was that it was going to be, it was going to sell loads, wasn't it? I mean, I remember Jim Beach being interviewed about it, about how, the size of the advance they got for it. And then when it didn't sell, and then they said the next album's going to be opera, they got a double bonus to get dropped from the contract.
Get him off the label.
Yeah, they did. I think so.
Man, this album performed very badly, insanely badly.
Absolutely did. So I'm giving this track a fat 1 because I think it's awful. Scores on the doors.
Well, I'm not quite ready there. I'm not quite there yet on this track. Your Kind of Lover. Matt alluded to it about the start of jazz, but I think that intro. I think that could be Melancholy Blues Part 2.
Another party's over.
Yeah, it starts off and I'm going, oh my God, I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving it. And the problem is when the song kicks in, or the rest of the song. So if it was in 2 halves, it would be like the 5 at the start and then the 2, when the rest of the song kicks in. So that's 3.5. Are we having halves?
No.
Just think of that opening. Maybe Freddie used to go to the band and say, I've got this brilliant song, and he would play that song. And Deaky would play the bass line, and Roger and Brian went, oh, come on, Freddie, we've done this stuff before. We don't want to do any of this stuff anymore. Melancholy Blues. I wonder. And it's like, and maybe that's it. Maybe I've gone the wrong way round. Maybe it's that the boys didn't want to do old Queen stuff anymore. But I don't think so.
So what is it, Jay? Is it a 3 or a 4?
I think it's a 3. Don't feel good about
it's a 3. A generous 3.
It's a 2 for me.
It's a 2, a generous 2.
Because the boogie woogie bit is pretty jam. It's it's a sort of jam idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there we have part 1 of Mr. Bad Guy. Tune in a couple of days' time where we'll do side B and Ian will give us the overall scores and you can start your voting for Recovering Queen's cover of Mr. Mercury's Mr. Bad Guy album.